What if I were to tell you that there is a way to pass your home on without any court involvement? You could literally complete a one-page document and leave your home to your beneficiary. I'm Darcel Lobo, an estate planning attorney in the Notary Park area, and I've been helping individuals and families with their estate plans for 17 years now. Let's talk about Washington State's transfer on death deed. A transfer on death deed allows you to name one person or multiple people as beneficiaries to your home. You prepare that and sign that during your lifetime so that upon your passing, it can go to them. It keeps that specific piece of property, that real estate, out of the probate process. Upon your passing, the beneficiary that you've named completes what's called an excise tax affidavit and files it with the county where the property was located, along with a redacted death certificate showing that you have passed. That action of recording the redacted death certificate along with the excise tax affidavit is what transfers title into your beneficiary's name. That is all they have to do. Now, this is a relatively simple option, and it can be a good fit for some, but not all homeowners. So let's talk about when it works well. This is going to be an estate where there's no complexity and it's a very simple estate. Maybe there's one or two beneficiaries and none of them can be minors. If any of them are minors, you're going to want to have a proper will or a revocable living trust if you want to avoid probate in place. This is also going to be a good fit when there's a situation where there's no need for ongoing management or any kind of detailed planning, and you're not putting any restrictions on them getting the house. The named beneficiaries just get the house outright. There's no strings attached. But you do need to take note that if there is a mortgage on the home, the mortgage follows the house. It doesn't just disappear because you've passed away. So your beneficiaries will inherit the home subject to any mortgages or liens on the property. So the mortgage will follow the property. And so whatever that mortgage balance is, whatever the monthly payment is, your beneficiaries will have to resume and start taking over those payments and paying that mortgage. Otherwise, the lender can foreclose or seek other actions as though they could, whether or not you passed away. Now let's talk about where a transfer on death deed can fall short and not be a good fit for you. The transfer on death deed does not provide any protection for incapacity. So if something happens to you during your lifetime, whether it's something like Alzheimer's, dementia, or any other kind of capacity issues, the transfer on death deed is not going to be of any help. The transfer on death deed only controls what happens upon your death, not beforehand. So if something were to happen to you beforehand, again, a loss of capacity, you need something else in place to address that scenario. So that's going to be a power of attorney to handle your affairs during your lifetime if you've lost capacity. So just know the transfer on death deed is not a comprehensive estate plan for all circumstances. Also, the transfer on death deed has no flexibility. The named beneficiary gets the house and that's all it controls. Just the physical structure of the house and the land it sits on. It does not control the contents in the house. So your personal possessions, your furniture, your clothing, jewelry, antiques, collectibles, none of that is controlled by the transfer on death deed. The transfer on death deed is only just the shell of the home and the land it sits on. To be able to control the personal items inside the home and other personal property items you may have, such as cars and boats, things like that, you're going to need a will or a revocable living trust, again, if you want to avoid probate. So transfer on death deed is just for the shell of the house and the land, not the contents, not anything else. Also remember that this transfer on death deed is specific to this one piece of property. It does not control any other financial assets. So if you have checking accounts, savings accounts, investments, brokerage accounts, none of that is controlled by the transfer on death deed. So you still want to make sure you have a comprehensive estate plan, whatever that may look like for you, but the transfer on death deed is only controlling that one asset. If you have other pieces of real estate, if you have a business, we need more than just the one transfer on death deed to make sure the wishes for your estate are actually fulfilled with your estate plan. So the key takeaway to remember here that a transfer on death deed can be great in the right situation, but it is not a complete estate plan. You still want to evaluate what other needs you may have beyond a transfer on death deed. So if you're in Washington State and you're trying to decide if a transfer on death deed is right for you, or maybe you've decided that 2026 is the year that you're going to get your estate plan done, contact our office and schedule a consultation. We're happy to see if we might be able to help you. Our contact information is listed below for you. And then also, if you're looking for more information on estate planning and probate, make sure you stick around and subscribe because we talk about all that and more on this channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.